Jamie, we've counted on our essential workers to get us through this pandemic. And now in the midst of this second COVID wave, they're now looking for our support. Their leaders are working with legislators and they've announced a bill that would give them more protections while they work. WMER2 News' Abby Isaacs heard from essential workers about what they need.
The biggest thing these essential workers are asking for is hazard pay. But more generally, they want to feel like their protection is top of mind as they work with the risk of exposure every day.
We put our life on the line day in and day out with exposure to this deadly virus.
It's been a source of constant anxiety for these essential workers since March.
We transport the sick, the elderly, to doctor's appointments.
Getting exposed to COVID-19 at work.
We too are hurting because whatever we take home to our family.
From nurses to bus drivers.
We're on our third death now, and one death is too many.
And grocery store workers. They all worry.
I'm facing with the sheer density in these grocery stores on a daily basis. There's a lot of people in there.
With rising case numbers, they're joining advocates and legislators to call for more protections.
If we're going to call these workers essential, we have to treat them as essential.
Today, they held a virtual kickoff rally for the Maryland Essential Workers Protection Act, which would provide standards and procedures to protect the safety of Maryland's essential workers during pandemics.
We're asking workers to go out and risk their lives, and at a minimum, we just need to make sure that we're protecting them and their families. And this will not only help our workforce, but it's actually going to help us slow the rising number of cases across the state.
Some of the employees acknowledged improvements to PPE supply and deep cleanings, but say more needs to be done.
It's all about the bottom line and this corporate greed. You know what I mean? How could you do away with hazardous pay when this hazardous is still clearly out there? People are dying at an alarming rate.
Along with hazard pay, the act calls for safe and hygienic conditions, the right to refuse dangerous work, and free testing and reporting of positive results.
We are here working, like they said, everybody is saying, thank you for all you are doing. But we also need to be cared for, just like we are caring for the patients.
This bill will be introduced at the beginning of the legislative session as emergency legislation. For WMAR2 News, I'm Abby Isaacs.